Dun 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 dun. I still don't have an intro. Dun 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 dun. Well, that was the intro. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage podcast. First of all, I want to apologize quickly because last week there wasn't an episode, and that was because I was gone for EVO, which is going to be the big topic of this week's show. That's right, this week, other than the games I've played, is going to be entirely dedicated to my EVO experience and the announcements that were made at EVO and the games I've been playing, so I think I said that. So that's going to be what this episode is. But if you don't know what this podcast is, this is a video game podcast. I am your host, Fidel. I am the host of the Games Cage channel on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at MTLSayin, or you can find me on Twitch at Games Cage. So easy find right there. This is the Games Cage podcast, a weekly podcast where we discuss all video game news, video games I've played, and all these announcements. But this week's going to be a bit of kind of like a spin-off episode where I decided I'm not going to answer questions or anything. I think it's just going to be, I'll talk about the games I've played, I'll talk about my EVO experience, we'll go through all the announcements and shit, and then we'll just call it an episode. So, might be shorter, might be longer, who knows. But, you know what, let's get right fucking into it. So, let's start first before we get into EVO with the games I've been playing, because the EVO thing is going to be just a long topic. So, let's talk about the games I've played. So, first of all, the hero dropped in Smash Bros. That's right, that is a big one right there. Character that was announced around E3 time. It was at E3, and is finally out now. And I gotta say, guys, the hero in Smash is fucking amazing. That's right, I love this character. I think it's no surprise. I think here's the thing about the hero in Smash. I think, other than the fact that he's really overpowered, right, to people, like that people think he's overpowered, I think it seems pretty unanimous that he is one of the most unique and fun characters in the game. I think what I love about the hero is his little down B menu. For those of you that don't know, basically the hero is a Smash character where he's from Dragon Quest and he's got a ton of moves. His primary move is this down B mechanic where he opens down a drop down menu and 4 random moves show up out of 18, and basically he's got a ton of attacks he can do. So he can literally freeze slash you, he can fire slash you, he can send you flying into the air, he can one shot kill you, he can turn to metal and freeze for a second, he can bounce projectiles away. So it's he's got a ton of moves. He actually has the most moves of any character in Smash, which is a really unique trait to have that many attacks and shit. And it's he is such a fun character. I love, first of all, that he's got the 4 different costumes, like Erdrick or the guy from Dragon Quest 3 or 8 or 11. And it's I really love that little detail right there. But it's I feel like the character is just such a fun... He's one of the most fun characters here's the thing. He's one of the most funny characters I've ever played in my life. It's playing dittos of fucking, what's his name, the hero, is the funniest thing, because one of you blows up and kills yourself to get an extra stock, one guy freezes someone, one guy puts someone to sleep, his side Bs are really powerful, and his regular Bs are great. So it's he's just a strong character overall. And it's I understand the conversation around banning him. It's not one of those things of I don't see what you mean. It's I see where you're coming from, but I feel listen, man, I feel with Smash you can adapt and you can learn. And again, the thing about his down B menu is first of all, it's random. Second of all, someone has to stand there and do that, right? It's your opponent a lot of times isn't going to just let you do that. I feel that's going to be a big thing competitively, where with the hero you can be a little more aggressive, because you're not always going to have a chance to do your down B unless your opponent, unless you're really picking quickly from the drop down menu, your opponent's going to do his best to not let you access that menu. And again, you can also harm yourself, right? And it's you can use the move called Hocus Pocus that can make you really small or really big or make you fall asleep. So it's there's a lot of weird shit that can happen with this character. But man, I've just had a ton of fun with him. I think his stage is really great. And another addition to 4.0 that I really love is the tournament mode. So Smash finally added a tournament mode. And I'm so happy about this because, man, having tournaments is so fun because, for example, what they're doing now is they're doing cool themed tournaments. So right now they've got heroes versus villains, right? And it's basically you can only pick hero characters or villain characters. Why Kirby isn't there but Dedede is, I have no fucking idea, don't ask me. But it's a really clever, cool way to finally have tournaments in there. They also have like a regular tournament where you could do 1v1 or it does 4v4. Like it rotates different modes. I wish they would just have a permanent 1v1 3-stock tournament in there for competitive players. But whatever, it rotates enough that it'll hit that most of the time. But yeah, so it's like the hero in Smash has just been a fantastic addition overall. I think he's really great. And next is Banjo, so I'm really excited to see what they do with him. But yeah, the hero, I think, easily one of the best characters in Smash, and I'm definitely maining him. Like, he's one of my elite mains now, because he's just like, he's so fun. Of course, like, I love the randomness of him, but also he's basically a fucking Dragon Ball character. Especially Erdrick. Like, you're doing these charge-up moves, you're doing these crazy attacks, they've got those Dragon Ball screams, so obviously I gotta fucking main him when I adore Dragon Ball. So, that's that. Next up, I beat Fire Emblem Three Houses Root Edelgard, right? I did a review on this, so I won't talk about this too much. You can go check out my review if you want more details, but like I said, man, this game is really special. It nails characters like very few games do. It nails gameplay. That tactical gameplay is just so fucking good. It's a special game. Like, it's like everything it does, like everything Persona does, this game kind of does. Like, where it's like, I love the fact that every time you do a social aspect, it feeds into the gameplay, and gameplay feeds into the social aspects, and it's a gameplay loop that is really satisfying. And the way the story unfolds is incredible, especially how each story is like has a different ending, where the second half of the game is vastly different for each different house you pick. So I beat the Black Eagles route. Next route I'm going to be doing that I kind of started was the Blue Lions. I want to get a little more deep into it. But yeah, what a special game. Again, if you want to see my in-depth thoughts, go on my review, but loving my time with that. Also been playing a bit more Mario Maker, as always, still working on my stage project. I know it feels like I haven't been making levels, but trust me, I'm making levels. I'm just doing them in the background, doing a bigger project within that. So that's been fun. Again, even popping in online levels, it's just, the thing about Mario Maker, I just love that I could just pop in there and be like, wow, I just have a ton of Mario levels to play, and that are like super quality. And it's so satisfying, and I love it so much. Next up, I actually started playing Blazblue CrossTag Battle. Yeah, basically at EVO, I was watching the Blazblue finals, and man, I was just like super hyped. Plus, a lot of fighting games were on sale for EVO. I don't know if the sales are still going on. I don't think they are. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so Blazblue CrossTag Battle, it was like $20. So I was like, fine, I can bite the bullet and get in there. And man, I've been having a ton of fun. First of all, the game looks beautiful, as all Arc System games do. I started a bit of the story mode, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Like, I think it's surprising how, because like the Blazblue story is nonsensical. Like, everyone knows that. I was at a panel with like the directors of Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and Tekken and all that, and they were literally making fun of the Blazblue director who was there and telling him, your story makes no sense. But this one I think is a little more contained, where it's basically all the crossover characters are thrown into this tag team tournament, and they basically have to fight for their lives. So, I mean, it's dumbed down, but at least it's fun enough to understand. And I think it's like one of the few times a BlazBlue game is dubbed. So that's really cool, and I just think the dialogue's really entertaining, actually, in the story. They have funny stuff. But man, the gameplay is just super fun and quick, right? Because basically, for those who don't know, that BlazBlue is a 2v2 fighter, and basically it has characters from Under Night, In Birth, whatever the fuck that horrible video game name is. We've got characters from Persona 4, which interests me the most. We've got BlazBlue characters, and there's Ruby characters. And it's just like, the animations in that game are beautiful. The attack systems are simple but fun. It's like, and that's the thing about that game. It was meant to be. It was meant to be more simple but fun to play, and I really appreciate that, because I don't play this game competitively. So again, I haven't gotten to play too much of it, but I'm having a ton of fun with that. I even actually bought the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, because that's something I've wanted for a long time now, and it was on sale too, so I picked that up. So really great time to be a fighting game fan. And it's like Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, you know what you're getting. You're getting a ton of the classic. You're basically getting almost every Street Fighter game other than 4 and 5, right? Because it's like, you get Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, 2 Turbo, 2 the Alpha, 3 Third Strike, Generations, all this shit. So I've been having a ton of fun messing with that. I think the game looks beautiful with the HD output that they have the game in. It's so fun going back to old Street Fighters and seeing how, like, the essence of the franchise is still there now. Like, it's like Street Fighter 5, for all its issues, it is still Street Fighter, and it feels like it in a good way. It's like, I'm having just a ton of fun with that. So yeah, that's been my gaming time, right? So the big bulk was definitely Fire Emblem and Mario Maker. So I'm gonna keep playing my stuff and keep going. Again, I want to start Kill la Kill If, because I have that on my Switch, so I want to get that out the way and everything. But enough with that. Let's talk about my EVO experience. So this is the first time in my life that I have gone to EVO. I am 23 years old. I think I started watching EVO when I was about, I want to say 13 or 14. Like, I was really young when I was watching EVO, and I remember watching it and being like, holy shit, this is so cool. And I remember, like, it would pan to the audience, and it would be like a small kind of room, but it would be still super hype and fun, right? It's like, and I remember watching Street Fighter finals. And then it became almost just a yearly tradition that I would always sit down at EVO and just watch the grand finals of like a couple of games. Like I wouldn't sit through the whole thing, but I would always come in for the grand final, like the top 8 basically, not like 1v1 at the end, but the top 8 matches, because I just wanted to see what's going on, see some hype reveals and stuff, right? Because it's funny, the thing about EVO is like, the thing about EVO reveals is that wasn't a standard until a couple of years ago, right? Because before that, it would be like, yeah, like Street Fighter would have a reveal or two, right? Or like one of the other games featured, they would have a reveal. But it's like, it's now become in the past few years, I'd say, where it's like, now it's like almost a must-have moment to have EVO reveals. It's basically E3 for fighting games, because you really do expect a reveal out of every developer there. And obviously we'll get into the announcements once we get to that section, but I just want to talk about my time at EVO, because it really was a dream come true. Like, it's, so if you guys don't know the way it is, right, I really thought it was going to be like a small lobby, a bunch of games, and then it would be like the big arena for the finals. But no, it was like, it's a massive convention center that's rented out. It's got a ton of merchandise. It's got a ton of tables for just playing for fun. You could play like old school games like the old Marvel vs. Capcoms or the old Street Fighters, or like even like there's booths for like obscure ass fighting games. Like I saw a fucking weird ass My Little Pony one. So there's like a lot of fucking weird shit going on there. It's like, it is just so fun. And then there's a ton of TVs and tables set up for pools. For those of you that don't know what pools are, it's basically, that's where players go to participate. So like Smash had 3,000 entries, so there were a ton of tables for Smash, and the people are trying to get through as many matches as possible to whittle it down to the top 8, which is crazy. But yeah, no, it was insane just to see how many people were there, how many people love fighting games, how the community was alive there. There was some cosplay, but I mean, that isn't like the main thing that's going on at EVO. But yeah, that was like fun to see for the few times. It was really cool meeting a couple of like people that I've loved online that I've seen. I met Ash from Game Explain, so that was really cool and a dream come true, because like he's just one of my favorite internet people. I met Rogers Base, which was awesome. I even sat down and watched the Smash Grand Finals with him, which was like a blast. Like that was just, it was already surreal to finally meet him, but to just be able to sit down and like watch the Smash Finals with him was amazing. I met Zero. That was great. For those that don't know, one of the best Smash players of all time. So that was fun. I like rated his stream. I met Xavier Woods, the big WWE wrestler who also does video game content. Who else did I meet? Did I meet someone else of note? I think those were the main ones. But yeah, so it's like I met a ton of cool, like, just content creators, and it was just a ton of fun. And it's like, I think what's really cool also, like, they have these giant monitors set up. What the fuck, Siri? Siri, don't fucking do that. I said hey, Siri. Let's talk to Siri. Hey, Siri, can you not show up out of nowhere?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, you're not sure you I made her British because it's more sexy. Anyways, so back to the podcast here. What was I saying? Yeah, they had these giant monitors showing a bunch of different games. So it was just cool seeing, like, every so often when there was a big match going on, people would be huddled up around a TV and, like, seeing Tekken and seeing Dragon Ball and seeing Smash, all these things just on these giant monitors that you could just sit and watch was just so great. And it's like, there's just something about that experience that, like, people tell you it's fun, but it's like being there is a whole different ballgame, because it's basically 3 days, right? And you're there for 3 days, and you're walking around the convention center, and it's like the fighting game community. I give them a lot of props, because like they're just one of the coolest, nicest groups of people out there, because like you can literally just like go up to a TV that's sitting and they're playing a game and be like, hey, can I join? And they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then like you just sit down and you game with people, you have fun, and it's like it's just the way people are nice, the way like it's about hype, right? Obviously I call myself the master of hype, but it's like I love that EVO brings that out of me, because like seeing me and a bunch of others like yelling and be like, oh my god, it's like to see crazy moments and matches. It's like there's something surreal about experiencing that in person, right? Because the thing is, I feel like there is a charm to watching it at home and, you know, having like your snacks and having your comfort. And if you have like a friend or two that you're watching with, like just jumping around with each other. But it's like there's something about just being in the crowd and hearing the screams and seeing, like, for example, like when you're watching Giant Ball Fighters, right, the top 8, when like Kid Goku does a spirit bomb, everybody in the crowd raises their arms and throws them down, right? Or when Cell comes on screen, everybody yells, right? So it's like there's all these little things and minor things that like make the show more of an experience. And it's a hell of a time. It's like, oh, I also remember there was like for the Giant Ball Fighters stream, like I was close to the camera in front and I would keep just like waving at the camera whenever I saw it. Like I would take any chance I could to be on a fucking camera and it would be like hilarious. So it's like, it was just a lovely time there, right? It's like, in terms of what games I watched, so in terms of what I did on the show, I would just, usually my daily routine there would be like walk around, see some cool merch. I did buy some cool merchandise. I have another actually poster that I actually have to hang up. But I saw some cool merch. I saw some cool cosplayers. I was walking around. I would play video games throughout the day. I would watch a lot of the panels. The finals, and I went to a lot of panels actually. Well, actually, no, I went to 2 panels. So the 2 panels I went to, the first one I went to was the Women of Video Games panel. I don't fully remember the name. Women of Fighting Games community panel. So it's like it was just a cool panel with a bunch of girls from the gaming fighting game community, and they were just talking about their experience, how not to be a shitty person, basically. And it was really like eye-opening, nice panel, because like again, you realize first of all, there's more than just dudes in this community. You also realize that everyone should be treated fairly, and like some of the stories they told were like really not cool. It's like the shit some dudes do are fucked up. It's like just remember to be cool, be nice, treat people like people. It's like there's no like you don't have to make someone feel different just because they're not the fucking bulk of the community. So it's like. No, it was a great panel. But the second panel I went to, which was like an insane dream come true. So I basically was going to a panel which was for Arc Systems, where the director of Arc Systems, Arc System Works, for those of you that don't know, make all the anime fighters. I was going to a panel where he was basically just going to draw something, and it was just going to be like a fun Q&A. So I went there, right? And I went there with a friend of mine. And basically, then I see sitting in the crowd, like Oni, who, for those of you that don't know, Yoshinori Oni, I believe, he is the director of Street Fighter. So when I saw him in the crowd, I was like, oh my fucking god, this is insane. Am I going to be able to talk to him? And then Harada-san comes into the fucking crowd, comes into the audience, and he's the director of fucking Tekken. And I was like, no fucking way. And then Daisuke shows up, who's the director of Guilty Gear. So you have these 3 legendary directors with the creator of with the director of Blazblue 2, who's amazing. And it's like, and then they all go up to the panel. So it turns out it's no longer just an Arc Systems panel. It's just a panel of legendary fucking fighting game video game, whatever, directors for fighting games. It's like, I was in awe. I literally couldn't believe it. It was just insane. And man, seeing those guys just talk to each other and laugh with each other was hilarious. Because it's like, it reminds you once again that humans make video games. They're not just AI fucking things, right? It's like, and they can be fun too. Like Harada-san, who's the Tekken director, is so funny. He talks so much shit. He would talk shit to like I said earlier, the Blazblue director telling him, bro, listen, I've read about your story, I've tried them, and it's I don't understand anything. And he would ask the crowd, does anyone get it? Or he would make fun of Oni for his Street Fighter characters leaking. Or it's there was just a ton of jokes going on. It was so fun. There was also the art director for Blazblue that was there, and she was really nice. And it's I can't believe, first of all, I got a picture with each of them, which is insane and a dream come true. It's I just couldn't believe it. I got really lucky with that panel, and it's just that was a surreal experience. Because again, I love fighting games, so to be able to meet those people, those characters, was just it was really a moment. It was surreal. So yeah, and so that was that panel. And then I also got to ask them a question because they were like, let's ask questions. So obviously I had to ask a Smash question. I was like, which character would you all put in Smash? Harada and Oni said put themselves in there alongside Sakurai so they can fight. Daisuke said, a character from Double Dragon, and one person said E Honda. I think Blazblue guy said E Honda. So yeah, there was some funny choices in there, but yeah, and then again a bunch of others asked questions, but it was just a crazy panel. And then yeah, for grand finals, right? So basically, how it would work was there was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now Friday there were no grand finals, I believe, but Saturday, Sunday there were. So on Saturday there was the Dragon Ball FighterZ grand finals that I watched, and that was insane, dude. Because the biggest problem with FighterZ that they fucked up was that I think they associated low participants with low care for the game. Because man, that game was so hyped to watch. Everyone on the show floor was crowded around the FighterZ screen when it was there. It's like they should have put that on Sunday in the arena, because like even though there were fewer participants, the interest for the game was unbelievably high, man. And it's like watching that live was amazing, because like it was I don't remember all the players, but the top two were basically Go1 and Sonic Fox, and they played their lives off. It's like they were playing like gods. The way they were just pressuring each other nonstop, blocking, all that stuff, it was like insane. And to see that live, just feeling the pressure, jumping, be like, no, yes, and it's like it's that funny thing of like, I don't necessarily cheer for one player. I'm just there to watch like the sport, and I'm just trying to see the intensity, because like there's an intensity to fighting games that like you don't see in many other like sports, whether real or video games. Because like, for example, let's say like a game like soccer, right? Usually if there's like 10 minutes on the clock, if someone has like 2 goals over the other, usually like they're gonna be fine, right? But in fighting games, it's like anything can happen. They could have like a slither of health left and make a comeback, right? They can bring back the set. They can do a bunch of things. And it's like the way it's just so intense and fun is amazing. Because like I feel like especially this year, there was a lot of like clutch moments. Like it was very rarely like someone clearly won. It was a lot of like, okay, we're going to grand finals. They're resetting the bracket. They're getting close to the end. And it's like, it was just wild. So Dragon Ball FighterZ finals were fucking fantastic. And obviously we had the hype DLC moment, which I'll get into when we go into announcements. But yeah, FighterZ is amazing to watch. I also watched the Under Night in Birth US, whatever the fuck. I don't even try. I played that game. I like that game, but I would never try to learn it. And that was really fun too. Again, the thing about that game is like, I like it, but I think it's like, it feels like the cheap version of all the Arc System fighters, because I think it's published by Arc Systems, but it's worked by French Bread or something. But it's like, I like it. It's fun. It's a fun game to watch, and they had a cool new reveal at the end. But it's like, it's just not a game that I'm really going to get into realistically. But again, it's just a fun game to watch, and I'm glad people are loving it, and that's getting a little more popular. So that was a great final to watch, and I think that's all I saw on Saturday. I didn't watch the Mortal Kombat finals or Samurai Showdown, but I heard those were really fun. Sonic Fox won that, which is crazy. It's crazy that Sonic Fox got into top 8 for fighters and got second, and then played Mortal Kombat top 8 and got fucking first. Like, to play that many fighting games, like to play even just 2 fighting games at that insanely competitive level is crazy. It is just fucking insane, and again, shout out to him for all that work he does. Then it was Sunday. So Sunday was the surreal experience where I had heard we were going to be in an arena, but I guess I never looked at pictures of it or anything. Holy shit, dude. Like, this was like, think of like just a concert venue. Like, no, not a venue. Like, think of a big concert zone like Bell Center, or like a giant concert zone where a lot of like celebrities sing or whatever. This was that, but for fighting games. Like, oh my god, it was so cool. Like, there was a beautiful screen that would like display which characters the players are playing. It would have their flags on the side. And man, just hearing the commentators live, they were like live commentators, because the live commentators are actually different than the ones you guys hear online. So we have a little bit of a different experience amongst each other, right? But it's like having just the fucking raw experience of being in a giant arena with a bunch of people yelling and everything. It's insane. And like the stage that the players are sitting on are like EVO shaped, like they've got the EVO logo shape on it, and it was fucking unreal. Like I couldn't believe it. And it's like I was there from morning to night, like almost sitting the entire time, and it was wild. But man, like it was a hell of a time, because you're just watching a bunch of epic final battles, right? So it was first in the morning, it was the Blazblue Grand Finals, which was amazing to watch. Again, that game is super fun to watch. And then we had the Street Fighter Finals, which were amazing to watch too. Because again, the thing about Street Fighter 5 is like, I've had my ups and downs of that game, but like watching it now made me go like, huh, maybe I should jump back into Street Fighter 5 because it's I'm sure it's just a fun game to jump into and play. So that was a really great for grand finals to watch because it got into like it was really near the end there. So yeah, that was amazing to watch. The Tekken finals were fucking incredible. I think that was the biggest crowd pop off. Like the Tekken finals were the one where the crowd was just like losing their minds the entire time because that's like it was in the middle of the day where people weren't tired or anything. So it was still really massive and great. And yeah, and obviously, and I'll get into the reveals after, but that was just a beautiful experience, to be honest. And then at the end, we had Smash. And these Smash finals, this was Smash Ultimate's first EVO. And I gotta say, they went in there and they fucking killed it, dude. It's like, Smash Ultimate is just such a... I adore that game. It's like, it had a cool... Oh yeah, even like every fighting game that was in the Grand Finals had like a hype intro. Between like every few matches, the commentators would like do these fun games, like they would do trivia with the audience or they would do karaoke. So it's like there's some cool exclusive EVO stuff that you don't see online, which is really awesome and making you feel part. And I was like pretty close to the screen, like I had a really good view, and it was amazing. So yeah, the Smash Grand Finals were just super epic because it really got to the damn fucking near finals with like Tweak and MK Leo, and MK Leo killing it with Joker. Like, his Joker's insane, but seeing like a top level, what's his name? Pokemon trainer was insane too, because Tweak would be like switching the Pokemon at the right moments, doing the right moves. But it's like, yeah, MK Leo just adapted and played like incredibly well. It's just like, no, he nailed that character, he nailed everything, and it's like, it was just incredible to watch. Like, the best matches in that game are in any. Like, the thing about fighting games, what's cool about them is even if you don't like them, they're fun to watch no matter what, because you're just seeing cool shit happening on screen. You're seeing those health bars that are really low, like, and it's like you're like, the thing about fighting games is like it's not easy to play, but it's easy to visualize, right? Like, you can see obviously attacks are happening and health is going down or up, or in Smash's case, percentage is going up, and it's like you can tell like when the intensity is heating up, even if you don't necessarily play the game. So it's like, yeah, that's the big fun of it. So I was just jumping in. It was just a crazy setup and match. It was wild. So yeah, that was like the EVO matches and everything. But like, what a surreal experience. I have to do it again. It's like, it was just so fun. It's just so engaging. It's so interesting. It's a different perspective. Again, it's like, I love it. It makes you want to go to more like conventions, whether it's like PAX or all that. Because there were also video games that developers had on there that I want to talk about that I got to play. I think I played mainly 3 games that were like exclusive there to play. So yeah, so that was the EVO experience. So now let's get into what I played there actually too. So I got to play, first of all, River City Girls. For those of you that don't know, it's a project between WayForward, I believe, and Arc Systems Work. It's a sequel to the River City. What is it? Is it Guys or I don't know, one of the old River City games? And it's like, this one, it's featuring girls this time that are saving their boyfriends. Pixel art is beautiful. It's got some animations from Arc Systems Work, and it's a really fun beat 'em up. Because again, we don't have many beat 'em ups nowadays, right? Like, just like, because again, it's a weird genre, but it's like, it was a ton of fun. I played it with one of my friends. I played it a bit after on my own. It's like, there's something about the pixel art of the game, the combat. The build I played was in Japanese, so I didn't understand too much of it, but hey, it was still really fun. And again, that game comes out in September, so that was really fun. I got to play Shovel Knight Shovel Knight Showdown, right? And it's like, the thing about that game, what's crazy is like, yeah, first, it is a fun party game, but what's nuts about it is each character is going to have like a little arcade mode campaign, and that's going to come alongside the King Knight DLC. It's like, it is just crazy the amount of work they're putting into that. But that was really fun to play because each knight you play in the game has different stats and different moves, so you can finally play as all the other characters in the game, like Plague Knight. I know you played as similar, like the what's his name, the Yeti dude, or the Shield Knight. It's like, there's just a ton of love and care put into that. I got to play a fighting game by Square Enix that they published. What the fuck was it called? Because it was such a weird game. Like, Square Enix, let me find this, Square Enix Live 2D fighting game. It was the weirdest game because like no one has spoken about it, and it looks beautiful, and it's on Steam. Oh, here it is. It's Million Arthur Arcana Blood. And it's like, it's super weird that this exists. This is a thing, and no one's talking about it, because I had a ton of fucking fun playing this game. And yeah, it's just a weird game, but it's super fun. It's like a 2D anime fighter by Square, which is really weird. So hey, that's a thing. And I think that was it mainly. And other than that, I just played old games and a bunch of other stuff. So that was really cool. And also, I participated in EVO. I participated in the Fighters tournament and the Smash tournament. I got my ass beat in both, but the thing about me is I whenever I play fighting games now, it's like obviously I jokingly freak out or rage like when I'm on stream or whatever, but it's like at the end of the day I don't really care. It's like I learn from my mistakes. I don't see my losses like I suck or I'm not good. It's like, okay, now I know this is gonna happen if I do this. I need to be careful for that. So I think about what I can learn and improve rather than like what I fucked up and like no, not what I fucked up, but like think about it negatively, right? So yeah, so that's that for that. So now let's get into the EVO announcements we got. So I've got a little list here. So first of all, we had Street Fighter 5. So Street Fighter 5 sadly shit leaked, right? It was even Oni-san on the panel was like, I'm sorry, things leaked. We really didn't want that. Like it was supposed to be a big surprise for us, but it is what it is. So for Street Fighter 5, we got E Honda, Poison, and Lucia in the game. I believe E Honda and Poison, I believe, is from Street Fighter 4, and then E Honda's obviously like a classic in there. But Lucia, I have no idea. I think she's from 3 or 2. I'm not fucking sure, but really cool character to bring back. I want to play as her a bit more. And again, they were revealed, and they're all available right now. So that was like a cool moment right there. And yeah, I can't wait to play as them. I want to try them out because I think they're gonna be really fun. But it's like, yeah, again, that was a sad thing to leak, but really cool. But it's like Street Fighter 5, man, it's a weird game. It's like, again, mechanically, I think it's one of my favorite Street Fighters. Like, I think it's just super fun to play. It's great to play. It's great to pick up. But I just feel like I just want the next thing. Like, I know they're investing in Street Fighter 5, and they continue to. And I think it's actually doing pretty well for them. Like, I think last quarter they sold 500,000 copies, which is insane because the game's like, what, 4 or 5 years old now? Like, they've been running on this game for a while. And I think Oni said in November we're going to be seeing another big Street Fighter 5 announcement. So I assume that's going to be a like new version of the game, like an alpha Street Fighter 5 or like some new version with new moves and new shit in there. But yeah, again, I want to see the future of Street Fighter. I think they're going to stick around with it for a bit longer though. I think maybe next gen, I think, is when we'll see another Street Fighter game because I feel like that's going to be the trend for a little while. So either way, really cool there. Then we got Fighters DLC. So this interests me a lot. So we got basically Dragon Ball Fighters at the end of the finals. We got the director come out, and we basically had the reveal of Janemba. Now, granted, we have known Janemba's in there for a while just because of leaks. Like, he's been leaked, like, since, like, I'd say E3. And holy shit, dude, his trailer was fucking badass. He's exactly how I pictured him, where it's like he's doing his sword slashes, he's teleporting around, he's doing these crazy moves. His level 3 is kind of boring. He just does like a little slash and like things happen to the enemy. But really sick reveal. Again, he's in Fighters now, so I gotta play as him a bit. I didn't get a chance to yet. But the cool reveal at the end there, which, again, we had known about him because they revealed him, was Gogeta. So, you see, he fucking kicks Janemba, and then Gogeta shows up, does his fucking sphere, whatever the fuck that attack is, and holy shit, his trailer is hype as hell, dude. It's like, the fact that, like, even when he does his Big Bang Kamehameha, and, like, the animation kind of goes into, like, the style of the movie almost with how beautiful it looks, it's like, oh my god, Gogeta looks fucking insane, and I really think, yeah, he's going to be amazing, because I think right now we got Janemba, so I think Gogeta is going to probably be October. I'm guessing he's an October character, and then Broly will probably be a December or January character to wrap up Season 2. Again, I hate how they handled Season 2, where, like, okay, in January we got Videl and Jiren, and then we waited 3 months later to get Kid Goku, and then we made it 4 months later now to get Janemba. So it's like the way they handled it was really poor, and I think they just wanted to stretch out the season, and then we're going to get, obviously, what's his name? We're going to get Gogeta in October, and then Broly later in the year. But again, I just think it sucks because for Season 1, they released the characters in pairs, and then for Season 2, other than the first pack, they just, like, gave them one by one. So other than that, again, really hype character reveals. I lost my shit. I wish they posted the footage of that. So that was cool. And then we had the announcement of King of Fighters 15, and again, that was cool because the thing about me and King of Fighters, like, I really don't have like a history with that franchise. And I played King of Fighters 14 and really didn't like it. I think first of all it looked ugly as shit. Like, I think it looked like an old PS3 game. I think mechanically it was just kind of bland. It's like, it's just when there's so many fighting games now that look beautiful and play incredibly and have these sick animations, this one kind of felt like it was just like a cheap thing. So I hope maybe King of Fighters 15 got like a budget boost and will do better. So that's cool for that. And then we got Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown basically announced its DLC plans where they're basically going to have one character every month for the rest of the year, and then they will have a Season 2 next year. So that's really cool. Then we got Tekken 7. Tekken 7 showed I think they're going to have the main dude from Samurai Showdown in the game, which is really cool. And then they announced their Season 3 plan. So they revealed that there's going to be this new chick, and then there's going to be this old dude. There was a moment in the crowd where there was a codec call. I'm sure you all heard of this. And I remember I was like the first one to post the video, and my phone was fucking blowing up. Like, I remember in like the first 5 minutes that video had like 1,000 retweets, and I was like, what the fuck? Because it was basically a codec call from Snake being like, this is some good ass Tekken, and everyone thought this meant Tekken. What's his name? Not Guilty Gear. What the fuck's his name? What the fuck? Snake is gonna be in Tekken. What's wrong with me? And it's like, the fact that wasn't true and it was like a little joke from EVO that was just misunderstood was just like, it was sad, but it was still a really hype moment there. But yeah, so for Tekken, again, they announced their Season 3 plans. I assume they're still going to have another guest character in there to make things hype. But again, Tekken, a really great fighter. And again, it sold, over 4 million copies, and it just continues to do well. And I really want to play more of that game. We also got the big one, which is the Guilty Gear the new game. We got a new Guilty Gear game. Holy shit, dudes. Oh my god, this game. Go watch the trailer for this game. Even if you don't like fighting games, go watch the trailer for this game because holy fuck, how far we've come with animation in fighting games. Because, listen, man, but what's his name? Guilty Gears always look gorgeous. Like, they're gorgeous games to look at. A lot of Arc System games are gorgeous to look at. But the new Guilty Gear game looks like it's taking things to another level. Like, it's like, holy shit, the way it zooms in on the characters for crazy animations, the way you see, like, the hair kind of flick. They've got the kind of, what's it called? They've got the kind of Injustice mechanic where you can kick someone through the other side of the screen. Or even, like, Dragon Ball FighterZ has that too. But it's like, the way it transitions the camera with the player like that is wild. It's like, it is just an insane looking fighting game. And I just can't believe what they're going to be doing with it. Even the director, Daisuke, said, hey, we're actually trying something a little different this time around. Things are going to be a little crazier. We need to evolve the fighting game format a bit. Because I agree, like, this generation, I feel like has really been about, let's make all the fighting games, like, beautiful and more refined, right? So I feel like for next gen, you gotta like evolve it now. Like now it's gotta be things like, we have these new mechanics and concepts that we've never seen or heard of, right? It's like, that's how I feel like Dragon Ball FighterZ is really refreshing, because yes, it's a 3v3 fighter, but it's like it had such cool, unique flair from Dragon Ball that it felt really unique and different. Whereas all the other fighting games, I love them, like Smash and Street Fighter and Tekken and all these guys, but all they are like really HD versions, like better looking versions that are more refined. So I feel like for next gen, I want to see more like evolution of the fighting game genre, because I feel like there's so much more they can do with it. And it's like, yeah, so Guilty Gear announcement was fucking wild. Everyone lost their goddamn minds. And yeah, just go watch that trailer because it looks stupid gorgeous. Then we got the Blazblue announcement. So Blazblue 2.0 was announced, coming out in November this year. They announced a Senran Kagura character, my girl Yumi, and I lost my shit. There's a video of me on Twitter yelling, "Anime titties never die," and I was just losing my mind, and that was really fun. We also got the character, we got like a fucking tank announced for the game. We got, who else we got? I got Blitzcamp, who's a fucking tank. We got Neapolitan from Ruby. We got Akatsuki, I don't know who that is. So there were some characters I had no idea who the fuck they are. But it's like the rest of them look really cool. It's like, I just love the continued support for that game. I think it's just a really beautiful, solid fighter. And yeah, again, it's going to cost $25 for the new expansion. I'm totally down with that. Like, you're getting a ton of characters for a pretty cheap price. It's like, oh, and they also revealed there's like 5 more characters they didn't show yet. And I'm excited to see those characters, because give me more Senran Kagura characters, please. So that was that. That was really cool. And then the final thing that I have on here is the Under Night In Birth, basically expansion or kind of sequel, right? Where basically 2020, it's going to come out early 2020. It's just going to be new mechanics, new moves, new stuff. And it's like, it's almost going to be a sequel essentially. And yeah, again, looks really cool. Glad for those fans. Again, realistically, I'm just not going to play it, but really cool stuff. So yeah, that was EVO, guys. So again, my first EVO ever. I think it was a fantastic jumping one to go into. Like, it was a great one to get into because it's just like we're at a point where there's a ton of love in the fighting game community. We got amazing announcements, we got some hype moments, and I just had an incredible time. And it was amazing. I just really love that experience. And yeah, again, I'm just super happy that fighting games are doing super well right now. I'm happy that like there's a place for them and that they're just like they're succeeding. And it's like, next year is going to be a crazy year for fighting games because we've got, what's it called? We've got that game, Blazblue Fantasy Versus, which is like the 2D anime swordsman game. We're going to have Guilty Gear out. We're going to have more Tekken announcements. We're going to have Smash still going strong with characters. We're going to have Blazblue 2.0. It's like next year for fighting games is just going to be wild. And it's like I'm just so excited to see more of it and see where it goes. But anyways, that is enough from me. I've spoken enough words. Thank you all for listening. Like I said, if you want more of the podcast, it's going to be on everything. I think the next day it's going to go on YouTube. For today, it's just going to be on the podcast services. Actually, maybe I'll put it on YouTube too. But either way, you can find me there. You can follow me on Twitter at MTLSayin. You can follow me on YouTube at The Games Cage. You can follow me here, The Games Cage Podcast. You can follow me on Twitch at The Games Cage. Instagram, MTL_Sayin. So that is it. Those are my titles. I thank you all for watching. I love you, and I will see you all next episode. Peace out. Oh shit! Look at this, wait, guys. Who's this is some bonus content right here. Okay, you ready for some bonus? If you're still here, you're listening to the bonus content of the podcast. My mouse isn't working, therefore I can't stop the podcast. Oh wait, now I can stop the podcast. Peace out.